from someone way smarter than all of them. The internet, my best friend. The internet is always there when I need it. I've learned my most meaningful life lessons from the internet. The best, most beautiful things in life cannot be seen or even touched, but must be felt with the heart. I got that from the internet. Well, actually, Helen Keller said that, but it doesn't matter. There are so many more important things that the internet has taught me. But ChatGPT told me I should have 3 main categories. So here they are. First, we will download all of the relationship advice you could ever need. Then we will browse through the many conditions and cures that the internet has diagnosed me with. And finally, I will show you how my bestie puts up firewalls to protect me in my internet adventures. Now, speaking of relationship tips and tricks, I decided to take Google's advice and go through my boyfriend's search history to start planning for the best Christmas gift yet. Best girlfriend ever, right? Instead of finding his newest interests, I found searches asking how to break up with your psychotic girlfriend. I wouldn't have been so offended if he didn't search it 13 times. And after this shocking discovery, I had absolutely no idea what to do. So of course, I asked Google. Google said the best way to avoid heartbreak was to break up with them first. So I immediately ghosted him and blocked him on everything. And I didn't even have to send a breakup text, so I was very relieved. But now that I was single again, it was time to start looking for a new man. And these steps my ride or die taught me have worked all 14 times I needed a new boyfriend this year. First, you want to make sure they know you're interested. I like to start by changing my Facebook status to in a relationship and adding an AI photo of us together as my profile picture. But once they know you're interested, you need to be as nonchalant as you possibly can. You don't want them thinking you're crazy or anything. You also want to make sure people know they are yours. Even if you guys aren't dating yet, you want people to think you are. Because eventually, if you tell enough people, word will get back to them and they'll just have to accept it. But just in case this plan doesn't work, which it will, because it's from the internet. But just in case, I always see posts from single Facebook moms saying they're content with their 36 cats. So if you don't get the guy, get some cats. All right, we should probably move on to the very long list of conditions and cures that the internet has diagnosed me with. 2 years ago, I tore my ACL. Or at least when I put my symptoms into ChatGPT, that's what it said the most likely possibility was. And I really did not want to get surgery. So my BFF instantly pulled up a YouTube video from one of the best YouTube channels, 5-Minute Crafts. And it told me I could make this magic home remedy. But I forgot to check the comments before trying it. The next day, my leg looked like a gas station hot dog that had been left on the roller way too long. Plus, my knee didn't feel any better. Now, this next condition I found out I had was very hard to take in. One day, I was just sitting in class doing my homework. And next thing you know, my eye starts twitching uncontrollably, like this. My immediate next thought was to get onto WebMD and see what was going on. After a little bit of web surfing, I determined I had pancreatic cancer, stage 7, only 3 years left to live. This all happened 2 years and 11 months ago. Time really flew by. But don't worry, I made sure to use the internet as much as I possibly could. I actually brought a book of all of the diseases I've been diagnosed with over the years. Let's just go through a few really quickly. Malaria? Fangirl syndrome? How'd that get in here? Whoa! What that? Stop! anymore. There's just one more disorder I need to tell you about, and I'm not ashamed to have this. IAD, most commonly known as Internet Addiction Disorder, but I like to refer to it as Internet Adoring Disorder, because as you know, the net and I are best friends. And this also means she always has my back. First of all, she makes sure I never look stupid when I go to send a message. Like one time, I was trying to post a cute picture of me and my boyfriend on Instagram with the caption, "Getting fun and flirty," but I accidentally typed "getting fun and dirty." I have never gotten so many calls from so many family members in one day. Safe to say, I will never ignore my BFF suggestions ever again. My girl also taught me how and why to stay away from influencers. Influencers will convince you to buy the dumbest products. And half the time, the products they're trying to sell you aren't even real. Before my eyes were open to the truth, I clicked on a beauty influencer's ad for the most elegant blue dress. And what shows up? A t-shirt with a picture of the dress printed on the front. I knew a $2 dress was too good to be true. Oh, and don't even get me started on their sappy apology videos. They are never actually sorry. And no, they do not care that they just insulted half the population with a racial slur. Because as long as they're hashtag sorry and hashtag disheartened, their next video should break the algorithm. So I think we've all learned today how my bestie is like no other. First, we downloaded all of the relationship advice you could ever need. Then we browsed through the many conditions and cures that the internet has diagnosed me with. And finally, I showed you how my bestie puts up firewalls to protect me in my internet adventures. If it weren't for the internet, I don't think I would have made it this far. 16 years down, and who knows how many to go with my plethora of diseases and disorders. Well, actually, I do know. It's 1 month. But before I go, my Snapchat AI has a quote